I mean, I still have in my mind that an Italian Canadian audience is a traditional audience, and that's not true, you know. So I think I I would worry about some of my other work. Um, but I'm gonna really try not to care about it anymore. I mean, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing because, I think I mean, my father would always tell me, when you're writing, when you're writing, you write write as though he said, write as though you're the one reading it, because that's the way you find your voice. You don't find your voice trying to write for someone else to read it. You find your voice as though you're the one reading it. Make it clear for you to read it, clear and concise in what you want to say and how you want to say it. And that's your voice, right? And that's very good advice. I mean, there's a reason he is where he is and he is who he is. That's very good advice. But I think it takes a very long time to figure out with enmeshment as a kind of a chronic and ubiquitous thing, where you really don't understand where you end and someone else begins or where you end and a community begins. I think I've had a lot of resistance to being part of a community, in a community, like, I think it's very hard. It's very hard to speak when you're worried about what people are going to think. And I see this with a lot of writing, and I see this with my students. I see this with my old writing, that you censor constantly. You make something slightly less hard, slightly less sad, slightly less angry, because you don't want someone to think you're mad at them, or you don't want someone to look at you with disdain, or you don't want to feel ashamed about something that happened to you that was or wasn't your fault or whatever. So you just kind of temper things until they disappear. And it's a really interesting when you record yourself speaking in the dark, you take your phone and you make a recording and you speak plainly as though no one is listening. And sometimes the things that come out are really surprising, like you don't even know your own voice, right? When you're speaking as though no one's listening, you don't even know your own voice. You don't even know what you think. And it's really surprising. And so I'm trying to cultivate that kind of relationship to creativity. And it's working, it's working. I think the gift of COVID, which it was a terrible burden and a tragedy, and it did a lot of damage and continues to do a lot of damage to people. But I think the gift that it brought me was this idea of finally understanding how impossible it was for me to find my own voice with all of the noise. There was so much noise. And there still is noise. I'm just now capable of filtering it out. So much noise. How do you make yourself understood? You have to enunciate certain words more so that you're heard, right? Over the noise, right? But if there's no noise, you speak plainly, right? So I think that trying to curate my experience in my life so that there's as little noise as possible so that I can be myself, which is really fucking hard. And then that's what I give. And if it's rejected or if it hurts people or if it makes people feel ashamed for me, that's okay. That's a them problem, right? Like, I realize so much of my own worry about feeling ashamed is my worry that other people will feel shame. And I want to protect other people because there's a lot of people out there who aren't really living in their bodies. I know this now, and that's a painful reality. So if what I am working on can cause someone to feel shame for me, maybe it'll get them a little closer to what they need to feel for themselves. And I think I feel good about that.